Okay, so just imagine this for a second. You're a king. You've got the throne, the palace, the whole kingdom. And then boom, it's all gone, snatched away. And the person who did it? Your own son, who, by the way, now wants you dead. This is the story we're diving into. King David, a leader at his absolute lowest, with his back against the wall and a world that has completely turned on him.
So as he's fleeing for his very life, this is what he hears. Not words of encouragement, not whispers of support from loyalists. No, he gets a full-on shower of curses and stones from some guy on the side of the road. You have to understand, this isn't just some political problem. This is personal. This is public humiliation on a massive scale.
So yeah, a king on the run. And let's be really clear about what that means. David is in exile. This isn't just some strategic retreat. It's a desperate, headlong flight from a full-blown coup. And it was all orchestrated by his own son, Absalom. The capital city, Jerusalem, is gone. It's fallen. And David, he's out in the wilderness with just a few people who are still loyal to him.
And this is where the real story is. This is the ultimate test, right? We're not looking at a king sitting on his golden throne, basking in glory. We're seeing a leader whose entire character is being forged in the fire of absolute disaster. How do you handle it when everyone betrays you, when you're hated publicly, when every decision is life or death, especially when it feels like you've got nothing left to lose anyway? That's what we're about to find out.
All right, so David's first big test out here on the road comes from a really unexpected place. It's not a battle, it's not an ambush, it's an encounter with this guy named Ziba. And on the surface, he looks like a loyal servant, showing up with much-needed help. But, well, as you're about to see, in a crisis like this, things are almost never what they seem.
I mean, just look at what Ziba brings. This isn't just a symbolic gesture, it's incredibly practical stuff. Donkeys, because people can't walk forever, 200 loaves of bread, 100 raisin cakes, 100 fig cakes. That's serious energy for his men, and a skin of wine to refresh everyone who's just completely exhausted. For David and his crew, who are desperate and on the run, this must have felt like an absolute miracle, a real, tangible sign that someone was still on their side.
But then comes the twist. David naturally asks, "Hey, where's your master, Mephibosheth?" Now, Mephibosheth is the grandson of the old King Saul, the guy David replaced, so there's history there. And this is where Ziba just drops a bombshell. He says his master stayed behind in Jerusalem. Why? Because he thinks, today the Israelites are going to give me my grandfather's kingdom back. I mean, talk about an accusation. That's straight up treason.
So David is under incredible pressure. He's exhausted, he's just received this amazing gift, and maybe his judgment is a little clouded by Ziba's generosity. And he makes a snap decision. Right then and there. He says, all that belonged to Mephibosheth is now yours. He gives the servant his master's entire estate. And this is so crucial. In the fog of war, information is a weapon. David just made a massive, life-altering decision based entirely on one guy's story. So the question is, was that justice? Or did David just get played?
Okay, so as if dealing with potential backstabbing wasn't bad enough, what happens next is even more direct. This isn't subtle deception. This is a full-frontal public assault on David's character, his honor, and his very right to be king. This guy named Shimei shows up, and he's from the clan of the former king Saul, so you know he's got a grudge, and he just unloads on David. I mean, this isn't some polite political protest. It's raw, it's physical. He's literally pelting David and his officials with stones, kicking up dirt to shower them with dust, and just screaming curses at the top of his lungs.
Now, David's general, a guy named Abishai, he has the reaction you totally expect, right? He is furious. He's looking at this guy, calling him a dead dog, and he sees this as an absolutely intolerable insult. His solution is quick, it's violent, and it's simple. Just let me go over there and cut off his head. I mean, that's the standard operating procedure for treason, right? A military guy sees a threat, he wants to eliminate it.
But David's response is something nobody saw coming. Instead of saying, yeah, go for it, he tells his general to stand down. He says, leave him alone. Instead of lashing out, he looks inward. He actually frames this whole ugly scene not as an attack from some angry guy, but as something that maybe the Lord told him to do. It is a stunning choice. He chooses humility and deep thought over pride and immediate revenge.
And his reasoning here is just incredible when you think about it. He basically tells his men, look, my own son, my own flesh and blood, is actively trying to kill me right now. So compared to that, what's a few curses from this guy? He puts it all into perspective. It's this perspective that allows him to just take the public shaming, believing that if he can just endure this humiliation, maybe, just maybe, it'll be turned into something good down the road.
So while all that drama's happening out in the wilderness with David, let's cut back to Jerusalem. Because his son, Absalom, isn't just sitting around. He's consolidating power. And what's the first thing a new ruler needs? Good advice. This is where the real political chess match is about to begin. So Absalom gets his inner circle together, and you've got two major players here we need to watch. First, there's Ahithophel. This guy is a political genius. Seriously, his advice was considered so good, it was like hearing from God himself. Then you've got Hushai, and this is interesting. Hushai was David's longtime friend and confidant, and he's just shown up, seemingly defecting to Absalom's side. The tension in that room must have been insane. Whose advice is the new king going to listen to?
All right, first order of business for Absalom. He needs to make a big, bold move. He needs to do something that screams to all of Israel, I'm in charge now, and there is absolutely no going back. So he turns to his star advisor for a plan.
Now, before I tell you what this advice is, you have to really get how important Ahithophel was. I'm not kidding. The text says his advice was like one who inquires of God. It was that good, that reliable. So whatever he's about to say, everyone's going to assume it's the most brilliant, surefire move you could possibly make.
And the advice he gives is, well, it's shocking. But from a strategic point of view, it is absolutely brilliant. He tells Absalom, here's what you do. You take the concubines your father left behind, and you sleep with them. Publicly. This has nothing to do with lust, okay? This is a cold, calculated political masterstroke. The stage? The palace roof, in full view of everyone. The goal? To make himself so obnoxious to his father that everyone knows reconciliation is impossible. The result? Every single one of his supporters is now locked in. They know there's no turning back. They are fully committed to his cause.
And he does it. Absalom actually goes through with it. They pitch a tent right there on the palace roof, and he follows Ahithophel's ruthless advice to the letter. And with that one act, the point of no return is crossed. The rebellion is now set in stone. For David, it's the most profound humiliation imaginable. For Absalom's followers, it's the ultimate proof that their leader is all in. A civil war is now completely unavoidable.
So what we're left with here is this really stark contrast, isn't it? On one hand, you have David, who responds to curses and hatred with introspection. On the other, you have Absalom, who responds to opportunity with brutal, calculated power. It really makes you wonder, when a leader is tested by deception and hate, what is the right response? What really defines leadership in a crisis? Is it patience and humility? Or is it decisive, even ruthless action? This story for sure doesn't give us any easy answers.